Welcome everybody to another video of Double Daylight. My name is Cubeproductions. I'm using the score merchant and I'm using Deadman Switchcore Took Pain Resonance, Thrilling Tremors, and a perk that you've probably never seen before because no one uses it, called Oppression. What this perk does is literally oppresses people by, whenever you kick a generator, 3 other random generators across the map will also begin regressing, and any survivor who's working on one of those 3 generators will have a difficult skill check. Of course, if they fail said skill check, their generator will explode, and because the generator exploded and the server is no longer on the gen anymore, Deadman Switch will activate and will automatically block the gen. This perk does sound good, on paper, but the reason why this perk is terrible and no one uses it is because it has an 80-second cooldown for some reason. I feel like it should be like a 40 or 60-second cooldown, maybe 60. Maybe 50, I don't even know. But the cooldown on this perk is just way too long for it to be useful. But because I like using different perks, and I feel like on Score Merchant this perk is actually going to be really useful, we're using it in this video. I'm also using Geographical Readout. What this perk or add-on does is when you are inside of a drone's active zone, you get a 2% haste boost and a 15% action speed bonus to breaking pallets, walls, damaging generators, and vaulting. So basically, we can damage generators faster, activate oppression, and also help when in chases because we are moving 2% faster inside our radius. And also, we are using randomized strobes and add-on where any survivor inside of the radius of a drone suffers from a 5% hinder status effect in the last 3 seconds. So while we move 2% faster, they move 5% slower. But let's get straight into the game so we can show you how great this build is. We'll score Merchant. Okay, we're on Bedham Preschool 5, which is not really the worst map for Score Merchant, but I don't like this one that much, mainly because of the fact that all the Bedham maps all they really do is the main building is either in the corner of the map or it's near the edge of the map. And this one is in the corner of the map, but then the big building that has the upstairs generator is super far away, and the area that has the basement generator is always next to the main building. But the fact that the big building with the generator on the top floor is kind of far away is kind of bad because I like having a drone in that area. But as you can see, we put the drone near there already and a person's already being locked on. So I decided to try and find them, and I put another drone in here thinking that they are upstairs or something, like in a part where the drone can't reach them, but they actually aren't. So I just give up basically trying to chase this person, and I'm going to go to my other generators and break this wall because the wall's annoying. And we need to try and find someone quickly because we already placed our drones, and it's time for us to try and win these chases and get these people killed. And that's how you play Square Merchant. Drone up. But I hear a generator being placed. I'm going to put a drone up here, that way I can get someone exposed. But sadly, my drone doesn't reach them. I'm going to kick that gen, activating oppression, so 3 other random gens are going to be, of course, have a skill check on them. As you can see from the far away over there, that generator over there also had, that generator over there, someone had, what's it called, been on it, and they got a difficult skill check, and they failed it. Then I realized I see scratch marks, so someone definitely was in the basement. But I put a drone in the basement, because now that drone in the basement is covering the they're covering the generator up here. And there is no way they can get to that generator without doing that drone, which means they literally have to go to the basement. And if they go through the wrong part of the building, they will automatically get exposed. So this girl goes inside of our drone radius, so she automatically has 5% hinder status effect, so she's gonna move slower. Look how fast we move. There is no way she's gonna be able to not catch her. She'll move 5% slower again, and we're moving 5% faster, so she's moving technically 10% slower. And we're going to easily catch her. Now the problem with Badham Preschool is because I didn't break those walls in the main building, I have to go down here to the basement, even though I just put a drone down here, so now I can't actually, that drone's gonna go away. But Thrilling Tremors will block every generator for a few seconds while we do that. Then the generator at the top is still blocked because of Deadman Switch. Oh, I lied, am I? There was no one over there. It was literally blocked for that second that we had Thrilling Tremors up. So I do the faraway generator. I don't care about the faraway gens. I purposely am not going to protect generators that are nowhere near me. Thrilling Tremors gonna activate. I'm trying to put a drone down, but I'm gonna immediately stun by power. But it's perfectly fine because the drone still goes up. This generator is protected, and to make it better, we also Still have 4 stacks on our score trip pain resonance because we didn't hook anyone on the score trip. And because another thing that's even better about this is the fact that the shack pallet's gone, so we don't have to worry about the shack pallet anymore. This survivor stunned me twice, but she's in a really bad spot now. I don't care if I get stunned, so I'm going to chase this girl. I don't know why she did that, waste her time. Give me a free down. And you'll see in this game how great oppression is, especially late game, because basically when oppression activates, it picks 3 random generators. But if you're at the end of the game in a 3 gen, well, there's only 2 gens left, so it's not random anymore. And as long as no one on those gens, they will automatically regress for you while you happen to go over there. And because Score Merchant has drones, I think oppression actually would be a really good perk with her. This is the ability to basically keep your 3 gen. It only works every 80 seconds, but it's the fact that it works. Like, it's the fact that it's going to do something constantly and be really, really annoying for survivor at the end of the game. I'm going to miss this person kind of bad in the game. Then I'm going to miss again, but she tries to pass them when I'm in the way, so she can't do it. Thank the Lord. So I'm going to chase this girl, but I believe she has off the record. I think that's the name of the perk that I believe gives you no scratch marks once you are, what's it called? You get no scratch marks once you are injured for about, I think, 80 seconds. So I don't know where she is. So I just lose track of her really fast, and I'm like, you know what? I lost chase. I can't. Because off the record is actually a pretty good perk when it comes to survivors. But I like it. I think it's off the record. Either off the record. No, off the record when you get unhooked. I believe the perk she had was called Lucky Break, where you leave no scratch marks or blood for about 80 seconds. I miss this person. I don't know why I swing so far away. Sometimes it's hard to tell how close and how far away you are from a survivor. So I put a drone here because I want to get her exposed. Because it's a really bad loop for survivors if they just have to stay in the building. But she got out insanely fast because she realized the risk of being down there. And I'm going to chase her up here if I can find where she went. But at this point, I'm just not being able to find any survivors except for this random Nia that just appeared in front of me. Now, of course, I can track them and just see exactly where they are. But I'm not even really trying to find the person I'm tracking. Like, I purposely don't want to track you because I'm trying to protect generators. And I know you're not on a gen. If I track you, I know where you are. So this is Nia. I'm going to try and down her move so fast. But she has Dead Heart, so she's going to Dead Heart. Because I already hooked her. I don't even remember hooking her, honestly, but I did. And some reason why she still runs Dead Heart, even though Dead Heart's kind of a bad perk right now. But also, it's kind of a good perk, too, because now everyone thinks you're not going to run Dead Heart. You should run it. But she's going to put a pallet down right here. But I don't care. I'm going to mind game until I basically get her to vault it. I don't really have to try, honestly, that hard. You just got to wait for her to vault. But I missed. So instead I should try plan B. Plan B is keep trying it until I get it. And basically, that's plan B. Pick her up as fast as possible, activate the delaying trimmers so we can block every gen on the map. But we notice there's one gen right there not blocked, which means they're definitely on that gen. Also, that means that I need to activate my Scourge hooks finally. So I'm going to activate, of course, Scourge hook pain resonance. She will scream. That gen we blocked for 40 seconds. Great, go me. So now that we've done that, we realize also that the gen in the bottom floor in the basement has been gone off. That means that there's someone down there. And then you're going to see a really weird interaction where I basically start to go after this person who's at the basement. I know they're down here because I heard the gen go off. So I'm going to put a drone up, and that man's is going to activate. So we're going to put a drone here, hopefully expose them because they're probably at the pallet. And exactly where we are, there's Nia over there. I'm waiting for her to come off from underground because I know she's down here. But I believe she either is still down there or she just went up the different way. Yep, she went up a different way. So I wasn't able to get to her. But now she's running in the middle of nowhere. There's a pallet next to this car, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to put a drone up here to expose her. She's going to purposely go the other way, but she's going to move 5% slower thanks to running my strobes. Running my strobes is going to let us expose her because she's 5% slower now. And we get a speed boost because we're inside our drone radius, and a quick down for us. Pick her up, throwing tremors out of it again. I love throwing tremors so much with this killer. I believe we haven't hooked her on a Scourge hook yet, so we're going to hook her on a Scourge hook. That way we can make sure the generators are regressing even more. Yep, and the same generator that they were working on before is now regressing even more, and we haven't even touched it yet. So I'm going to drone up here. I'm going to chase this person because I believe Nia is on that hook. But then I see this girl over here. She vaults the pallet. Well, I thought she did, but she's going to vault the pallet. And I'm going to chase her because I notice she has a cloud trap on her, so I can chase her and not have to worry about anything. She doesn't vault the pallet, sadly, but oh well. So because of that reason, I'm going to chase this girl in the basement. And this is what I was talking about when I say there's a basement area and I have a weird chase down here. So basically, she puts down the pallet, but even though this pallet, she puts it down and I'm exposing her slowly. And she doesn't really matter because this pallet is so safe that she basically can keep going down to it, and I don't want to break it because I want her to get exposed one day if she goes down there again. And there she is. She's still down there. She's exposed now, but I'm gonna go on this gen because I want to protect this gen. I'm going to kick it with activate the oppression. So now 3 other gens are being worked on will automatically be get a skill check and regress. And of course, one of the 3 gens she was working on. Well, there's only 3 gens left, so every gen basically will automatically regress. So I'm gonna use my undetectable to be undetectable and to just know I'm coming. So I'm gonna try and go after her. But even though I move faster, she is still able to vault because I swung too fast. And I'm gonna do it again. I'm going to just go and leave her, and I'll come back later because some reason why she's not getting rid of our drone. As a result, we're able to put another kitchen again using our geographical readout. We have the ability to kick it faster, but now she's exposed and she's no longer inside of the area. But I'm not gonna go after her because I know the survivors are going towards the gen again, so I'm going to try and intercept if I can. But they realize they can't activate the gen yet, so I'm gonna hide in this corner. But I believe my red stain, even though I'm untouchable, I don't have a red stain anymore, I feel like they can still see me because I'm as thick. I am a thick skull merchant. Because as a result, I feel like they're gonna see me. But she goes back down there. But this time I'm mentally prepared. So I'm gonna go down here. I'm going to. She knows I'm here. Probably because I don't know why she knows actually, but she knows I'm here. Well, I know why she knows. She knows I'm here because I don't have the oblivious add-on. She doesn't. She thinks that well, she can hear my heartbeat until I go inside of the area. So because of that reason, I'm gonna use the trimmers, block every gen, including that gen that the person was just about to go on. Hook her on that. Scorch Hook Pain Resonance will activate, and the gen over there is now the one that has the most progress. So that one's blocked by Dead Man Switch. I don't have to worry about it now. All I have to do is break these pallets that are in my way, which I will do that right now. That way the survivors don't have the ability to just do what they please. Even though survivors that have a claw trap on them will break the pallet automatically, I don't want the pallet to exist, so I'm going to break it. So now that I know this generator has a lot of progress on, I'm going to put a drone up and just walk away because I'm not going to kick it yet because of the fact that I know someone's over here. So someone tries to do my drone and they can't do it because I believe she had a claw trap on her. And when you have a claw trap on you, you cannot do a drone. Now, I don't know if the drone exposes you faster or if you just can't do it at all, but I believe you just can't do it at all. I don't think it exposes you any faster. So because of that reason, we're going to chase her. She's exposed. And I believe this needs a second hook, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to pick her up. There should be a hook right next to me. There's a Scourge hook, but we have no more tokens, so we can't use it if we wanted to. But it doesn't really matter because if she's dead on hook, this game over. And she's indeed dead on hook. I thought it was her second hook, but no, she's dead. Dead miss, which will activate. I'm going to activate this drone. No one's over there, so I don't have to worry about that. But I am going to, of course, go after this gen because I know there's 2 people on it. I can see them. Well, no, 1 person, I can see that person. But then they're going to go to the annoying loop that's right here. And then she does the basement gen by herself, but it's perfectly fine by me. I don't care if she does that gen. I wasn't trying to protect it anyway. Now the problem with this, if we don't have a good 3 gen, the generator at the top floor is so far away from the other gens, but it doesn't really matter that much because as long as I can protect the other 2 gens, and I know no one's on those 2 gens, that means there's someone probably on the other gen. That makes any sense. If 2 of the gens have no one on them, that means the 3rd one must have somebody on them. So I'm going to use oppression to kick that gen. Now both those gens are going to be regressing if they have any progress on them. That's why oppression is actually really good on Scrum Merchant. And because we know because we have drones on the generators, we know there's no one on the gen, so they have to be regressing. That's why oppression actually a really good perk when it comes to 3-genning. And I didn't really think about that until I made this build. But I really do think oppression might be a really good perk for a Skull Merchant, and I might put it on some of my builds. So there goes my drone. I know someone's over here, but it's too late now. I have a lot of builds, but then she fails the drone, so now she's exposed. And I have a speed boost because of my own drone effect. So there's nowhere for her to go. She's going to get down, and I believe there's a pallet over here, but I think they already dropped it, so she goes over here for some reason. The pallet's dropped, but it's definitely not broken. So I'm going to go back. At first, I was going to hook her, but when you see your drone is gone and you have a 3-gen, you want to, of course, try and protect your 3-gen. So I have to replace both my drones, but I can't replace both of them because they have 2 claw traps on them. So I can track to see where they are. One goes right here. I don't even have to track. I just know from playing Dead by Daylight where the survivors are going to be. So I believe they're both actually inside of this main building because of the fact that, well, they got rid of my drone, so one person's probably in the main building. I put a drone up here just so I can protect this area in case there is someone here. But before I can, but she's 5% slower now because of the hindrance aspect. Because she went into my drone area. I want to hit her. Also, there's a claw trap on her, so if she does vault a pallet, the pallet will be broken, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm gonna chase her for a little while. She's gonna try and vault this window, but I'm going to catch her before she can do it. And I'm going to hit her. I don't know how that hit, but we're not going to talk about that. So the other girl rescues the girl off the ground, so I know that there's no one on gens, especially since Billion Tremors activated, and Billion Tremors block every gen, so now I don't have to worry about that. That's why this perk combination is so good. Like, Billion Tremors, Deadman Switch. Really good combination on Score Merchant. I'll always say it. But then, when you actually have tokens, Score Trick Pain Resonance helps you so you can get to late game where you have the 3-gen. And then Oppression makes it so that way you have the ability to regress every gen on the map without having to use Hex Ruin or go to every single gen. Also, Hex Ruin deactivates after you kill someone anyway, so that's the main reason why I don't use Hex Ruin. But this girl had a Deliverance. She saved herself, which is really, really annoying. So I thought there were 2 people, and I realized now that nope, that's Deliverance. So I was going to go after her, but then I realized I'm going to point because I don't know where she went. I see scratch marks, I see blood, but then they just disappear. So I'm just going to reactivate my drones, get rid of this one, put it back in the really annoying spot, which is in the other room. But first, I'm going to change this gen, activate Oppression. Oppression activates and every gen should be regressing if it's not being worked on by a survivor. But I know no survivor is working on a gen because of the fact that, well, they, what's it called? No, my drones didn't go off, so I already know there's no survivor working on gens. So basically, you have all 3 gens regressing automatically because Oppression lets you do that with Score Merchant. I love this build so much, and I actually might use it more in more videos because I knew it was going to be really useful. Because Oppression is not really a bad perk; it just has a long cooldown, and there's other gen regression perks that are better, like Papa Goes the Weasel and Overcharge. Overcharge works every time, but they have to do a difficult skill check. If they pass it, of course, then you're screwed. If they don't pass it, then you're good. But then there's also what's it called, Overcharge, and then there's Papa Goes the Weasel. Both of those perks got nerfed, I believe, actually, but they're still much better than Oppression because that's how bad Oppression is. So then every gen area gets blocked because of Billion Tremors, but then you see this one gen on top floor wasn't blocked because there was someone on it. That means that I have to go over here and activate a drone. Deadman Switch will activate, of course, and because they got off the gen is going to be blocked. Then I realized that's not close enough, so I'm going to put it over here a little closer. That way it blocks off the gen, but still covers the entire building. I love the drones. So that generator's covered. I don't have to worry about any gens. I'm just going to reactivate that drone, and now I know that all 3 gens are recovered again. Recovered? Yeah, recovered again. And that's why this build's so good. Like, you just win. Like, you literally just win. There's no way the survivors can win right now. They're going to probably unhook her because they want to make sure they can try and come back, but instead, they just let her die, or she kill herself on hook. Now, the survivor's going to go in my drone radius, move 5% slower because of the hindered add-on. So I'm going to be able to catch her. I know she's not in the drone radius because the drone is not picking her up. She's on the outside of the area. So I'm going to trace her. She goes back inside the drone, but because she went back inside the drone and it wasn't activated, she wasn't slowed down again, sadly. So I'm just going to get rid of this drone. I'm going to reactivate it. That way, it's still protecting this gen, and I get myself a little speed boost if I go inside of it. Reactivate that drone. I'm going to go back over here because I noticed, so I see that there are scratch marks and that she has been located by a drone. So I'm going to go back over here, and she just, for some reason why, over here walking. I don't know why she's over here, honestly. This is a part of the game, again, where it's like survivors just don't do gens. Like, there's 2, I get why though. There's 2 or 3 survivors left, and they don't even try and get rid of my drones because they realize no point. Now I'm trying to expose her because I realize she's almost exposed. And every time I throw a drone down and she goes inside the radius, she gets a 5%. movement speed debuff. So that's really useful for me. So I activated the wrong drone. I was so mad. I was like, really? So I was trying to chase her and activate my drone because in chases, the hinder side effect is so useful because they move slower. But I activated the wrong drone. I clicked the wrong one by accident. So I wasn't able to slow her down and get to her faster. But luckily, she went back in the same exact loop. So I was going to loop this pallet because I don't really care. I know there's no one on any gens because I don't hear anything and more drones went off. So we really are in a good spot. She is going to go back behind me, but because she's behind me, she's really close to me. Because if you break a pallet in the right spot, it makes it harder for the survivors to be able to run from you. Then I got juked twice. I'm so bad. I'm sorry. And then I got stuck. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, literally, I'm just throwing at this point. Then I lose her, and then I realized she went back. She went to a corner because she realizes that if she goes to a corner, there's a high chance I won't be able to actually hook her. So I'm just gonna reactivate these drones and put a drone on her, give myself a little speed boost. So when I get to this hook, I have a 2% speed buff to get there faster. Because survivors will run to the corner of the map knowing there's no hook over there. So of course I'm going to give her a little speed buff, hook her, and she's dead on her. Now I have to, and every single gen is blocked again because billion tremors. This perk combination is so good. I love it so much. But now because every single generator is blocked, I know no one's going to gens, even though it's kind of obvious. Like this last survivor has not been doing anything remotely. She hasn't taken down a single drone while I was chasing. She hasn't done anything. She just literally, I don't even know what. I honestly don't even know where she's been or what she's doing. But luckily for us, the hatch spawns right in the middle of the road. So now all I have to do is put my drones next to the exit gates, and I basically am gonna get a free down. So I get rid of every single drone, and I start placing them in my line. I always do this at the end of the game. I make a line from one exit gate to the other exit gate full of drones, because it makes me undetectable and the survivors don't know where I am. But also because once you put the drone near the exit gate, they will be exposed if they decide to try and go near it. So now every time we go in our drone radius, we get a 2% speed buff. And every time we hop from one drone to the next drone, we become undetectable. So I realized that she's being located by my drone. So I'm wondering where. So I look on both exit gates, and of course I see scratch marks on this one. And she's exposed. I don't know why she even tried to do this, honestly. But at the same time, she really had no other options. So she's exposed, and that's a free down for us. All we have to do now is pick her up and put her on a hook. Hopefully we can find one. And that's GG. This is a kind of long game, honestly. But not that long. I don't know. This game's kind of long because a lot of my skirmishing games are long, honestly. But it's because we're trying to control the game, and sometimes you don't get to control the game until late game. And that's what oppression does. Oppression late game, when there's 2 gens left or 1 gen left, is just so good. It's also good early game too, because you can just protect random gens across the map by accident. But also it can be kind of unlucky where you kick a gen and then the gens of the game decides to regress are ones that aren't even, no survivors even on. But we win the game like usual. I don't really 100% know how oppression works. It says 3 other gens will randomly start regressing, which would mean that it doesn't pick a generator that obviously has no progress on it. So it has to be a gen that someone must be on, even though it says 3 random generators, unless all 5 gens are being worked on or something. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I love reading y'all's comments, and please use this video for yourselves so you can see how great it is. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye, guys.